Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about interest rates dropping, where they are projected to go, and if it's still a good time to buy or sell as we get closer to the end of 2024. But first, a quick reminder that if you're looking to move to the Casper, Wyoming area, I would love to help get you here. I am a transplant to Wyoming myself, and relocation is my specialty. So please don't hesitate to call, text, or email me. I am here to help. Also, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, let's get into it. So if you don't already know, interest rates have begun to decrease after a roller coaster year. We started the year off with rates in the mid to upper 6% range. Then interest rates began to spike in April above 7%, and by July, rates started to make their way back down again as news began to spread of a rate cut on the horizon. The good news is that on September 18th, the Federal Reserve did cut rates by 50 basis points, but that rate cut wasn't really felt as much as people had hoped for because the market had actually already been pricing in that rate cut for weeks ahead of time. But presently, in October of 2024, rates are bouncing around in the low 6% range. When rates peaked, though, into the 7s earlier this year, many thought that housing demand would decrease, thereby hopefully bringing down prices. However, Casper continues to be so strained by low inventory that the prices really just haven't decreased. In fact, they've actually increased even throughout this last year. As we get into winter, though, you will see price reductions as just a normal cyclical part of the real estate market. But major price corrections that many have been hoping for just really haven't materialized. Now, our median days on market have gone up, averaging now around 40 to 42 days on market. That doesn't necessarily translate into a major price correction. The fact of the matter is that it's still a great time for sellers to sell their homes, and for buyers right now, they can capitalize on lower interest rates from the highs of earlier this year with less competition in the market than what we had April through June. The good thing is that a lot of sellers also have a ton of equity in their homes and are willing to work with buyers on concessions, especially in the fall and winter months. Now, let's talk about where rates are projected to head going into 2025. The MBA Mortgage Bankers Association projects rates being at around 6.4% in Q1 of 2025. Fannie Mae projects that we will be at around 6% for Q1 of 2025, and Wells Fargo projects that we will be at around 5.95% in Q1 of next year. Now, this is not including FHA or VA home loans, and if you are planning on purchasing a home using either of those loan products, your rates should be even better. So, here is the million-dollar question. Is the end of 2024 still a good time to buy a home? The answer is it's a good time to buy when you are ready and able to afford it. A lot of people say that they are waiting for the election cycle to be over before they buy or sell, which honestly just continues to perpetuate this limited inventory situation that we are currently in. But generally speaking, the fall and winter tend to be better times to buy if you are more concerned with getting a better deal. It can be considered, say, a sweet spot in the market, and not just because we're filling up on pumpkin pie or gingerbread. The fall and winter usually give breathing room for buyers, allowing them to buy the home that they actually want versus one that maybe they feel pressured into because of the market conditions. However, if you prefer more inventory options and not moving in the snow, then waiting until spring might be a better fit for you. But just remember again that you might be competing with more buyers for the same home in the springtime. Either way, there doesn't really appear to be any major projected interest rate decreases on the horizon for buyers in the near future. In my personal opinion, you're better preparing your move based upon the current interest rates and your personal situation versus a hope and a prayer that we are going back to 3 and 4% interest rates anytime soon. Now, if you're considering buying at the end of this year or next year, here are some tips to navigating the current environment that we are in. Okay, number 1, know your why for buying. Buying a home is a personal experience, whether you're buying because of a job relocation, a life change, or retirement. Let's keep what's important first. If the goal is to downsize, let's make sure that we find you a space that's manageable and low maintenance. If you're relocating for a job, then let's try to find neighborhoods near your job site where you'll be working. If your family is expanding, then let's find you a home that will support your family's growth. In the end, it's my job to know your why, support you in that why, and help you find a home that aligns with your individual needs. Okay, number 2, this is an important one. Know your budget. The number one thing that I recommend to my clients is to have a lender that they are working with model payments for them at certain price points and run through certain scenarios to estimate their total cash to close on their home loan. Once we figure out where your comfort level is, then we start looking at homes at your comfort price point. If we need to work on trying to bridge any gaps, then we will do so through negotiations. This doesn't necessarily mean that the seller will accept what we are asking, but knowing your budget and your hard lines in the sand will help me to better advise and negotiate for you. Okay, tip number 3, don't try to time the market. Timing the market can put you into analysis paralysis, where instead of getting into a home, building that equity, and creating that lifestyle that you've been dreaming of, you continue to wait on the sidelines and hope that things get better, or maybe even get a little resentful that the market isn't doing what you think it should. Ultimately, you may get lucky, or you might just decide that moving forward with what you would like to do with a home is worth it, even if the conditions are less than ideal. I honestly just think that it is so important that you buy when the time is right for you.
The best time to buy your first home is as early as you can get in it. Don't wait for the right home on the right block in the right town. Just do the best you can and get your foot in. And the reason for that is real estate prices always go up and down, but most of the time they're going up. And you need something to trade with. If you want that really beautiful house high up on the hill, you have 10 times more shot of getting there eventually if you buy that dirt cheap studio in an upcoming neighborhood that you can get a quick gain on, because you have a trading card.
All right, 4th and final tip is prepare before it's go time. If you know that you need to move in 6 months or a year for work or a family situation or whatever it may be, schedule a call with me now. I'll go over with you a buyer's presentation so that you know what to expect during the buying process here in Wyoming. And that way, when crunch time comes, we're laser focused on finding you the right home versus going over the buying process in Wyoming. Calling ahead of time also allows me to get you connected with lenders. These local lenders can make sure that there are any credit, income, or job history issues that we need to get ahead of. And really what we are doing is we are just essentially getting our ducks in a row to make sure that when the time comes for you to make that move and buy that home, it is as smooth as possible. Now, just as much as I love making these videos, I would love to help you with your real estate needs. So please don't hesitate to call, text, or email me when looking to make the move to Casper. And with all that said, please take care, and I will see you in the next one.